Hi guys, welcome back. Well, Arsenal versus Everton ended in a 1-0 victory for Arsenal, and that was due to penalty goal from Victor Gyökeres, obviously. First and foremost, I'm happy that the captain and our penalty taker decided to give that penalty to Victor Gyökeres because he has not been scoring. So I'm really happy about that because that will really help him and it will boost his confidence as well in terms of goal scoring. I'm delighted. But I have to say that Arsenal survived against Everton. Do you understand? Because last season, I could remember we drew 1-1 at their home. But this time around, we went there and we got a 1-0 victory, which was really important and essential for Arsenal's title challenge. Let's be honest, right? There are some incidents that happened in that game that I felt that there is somehow inconsistency in terms of officiating. You know, if I see bad officiating, I will always call it out. It's not as if maybe it favors my team. I will put everything into details in this in this video. Number one is Victor Gyökeres Saliba's foul. Let's start from there. Obviously, when you look at what happened, there was a clear contact on Barry by William Saliba because Barry got the ball first before Saliba did. It's really amazing to me that they didn't award that penalty against Arsenal, right? Because obviously, when you look at that contact really well, you understand that Arsenal were clearly favoured. Let's not lie to ourselves. Arsenal were clearly favoured, and that was when the pressure was on Arsenal, and we only have 1-0 lead in that game. So let's not pretend as if we won that game fairly, right? I'm happy that Arsenal secured all the 3 points, which is something I want Arsenal to do. But that was an injustice against Everton. Because if it had to be my own team as well, and an opponent is leading me 1-0, and I see that kind of opportunity, and the official, for obvious reasons, decided not to award that penalty for obvious reason, I will be mad. I've seen countless of bad decisions go against Arsenal, which I am which I reached about, right? But when you see it against other teams, if we are being honest, I would say that Arsenal were favoured. Let's be honest about that. We could have basically got 2-3 goals in that game, right? Because we struck the upright twice, one from Leandro Trossard and the other from Martin Zubimendi, and we created some beautiful chances in that game as well, which I think Arsenal were not efficient enough in front of goal. But when you look at the bright side of it, the 3 points is what is most important. It doesn't matter how many goals you scored. Once you get the 3 points, that is very essential, right? So I'm delighted that we got all the 3 points against Everton, which I think is something we needed at this point because Manchester City had already won their game yesterday afternoon before we played at night. So in my humble opinion, I think Arsenal were favoured heavily in that game, and there's a pattern that I've noticed in the Premier League, most especially when there is two teams who are mounting title pressure, right? They always like to keep that pressure on with whatever reasons to the Premier League, whatever reason, they always like to keep that pressure on so that there will be excitement about the title race and there will be excitement about watching the Premier League. I've noticed that patterns over the years, right? So these are just my own honest opinion about it. Now, the second, there was a foul on Victor Gyökeres as well, right? There was a foul on Victor Gyökeres, and I do not understand again why that wasn't given as a penalty. I don't know if anybody can explain that to me, because that could have been an easy header into the back of the net, and for obvious reasons, it was shot down from the back, and nothing happened. Just as if it's just a normal challenge. That was a clear and obvious goal opportunity. So these are the reasons why I said that the officiating in the Premier League is not consistent. Likewise, what happened with Xavi Simons in that Liverpool game yesterday. Virgil van Dijk has done the same thing to Dominic Solanke last season. Nothing was given against him. The same thing. Do you understand? So I just want to see a consistent officiating. When you give something to a team, that doesn't mean when it happens to other teams, you now come out with another rule. Because that is something that has been happening for over a long period of time. So whatever it is, you can drop it in the comment section. Let me know what you think about it as well. But for me, in my own opinion, I think the Premier League lacks consistency in terms of officiating. It lacks consistency. That is just my own humble opinion. Drop it in the comment section. Let me know what you think about it. And again, yesterday there was a heavy scare because when Ricardo Calafiori also fell from after an header, like I was really tensed. Let me use that word. I was really tensed because the massive amount of injury list that Arsenal have got. This is now Ben White is also out injured again. So like Arsenal has not been lucky with injuries this season, but we have managed to keep up because of the level of businesses, the level of transfers that Arsenal done over the summer, which I will be forever grateful to Andre Bata and whoever is in charge of that transfer or of that transfer window, because it was a well calculated move for them. So this is just my own humble opinion. Drop it in the comment section. Let me know what you think about it now. See you in the next episode, and bye for now.